Hello and welcome back to session 2 of The Lies We Believe with Cheryl Millen, your biblical life coach and breakthrough life coach. We're going to dive into the second, third and fourth lie we believe in this session. So going back to number 2, following on from the first session of the session 2. It's easier to avoid the problem than face it head on. There are worriers and avoiders when it comes to many things, like exams or homework, having to face painful situations, to deal with people's accusations, breaking up with someone, leaving a job, when comes excuses. We really need to be facers, have the boldness of Christ in us to speak up. You see, fear comes along when we get gripped in pain and procrastination can set in. And we avoid problems. What does procrastination actually mean? Well, it's when you keep putting everything aside. You can't get focused to get on and do something, and you just keep putting it off and coming up with excuses. It's like you get a block. We ignore things and pretend they don't exist. So we attempt to get them put out of the way rather than suffer through them, which can bring mental illness. Think about kids. Imagine you take your son to Sunday school. He absolutely hates it. He kicks and screams the place down, embarrasses you for 6 weeks running, and then all of a sudden, he settles in. But at that last session, the mother is about to give up, or you're about to give up. You know, when you persevere and go through that difficult pain of getting to the point where you need to be, eventually you'll get there. But you can't give up. You've got to keep going. So I encourage you to break through the barrier and keep persevering, because sooner or later you're going to get a breakthrough. And there was this mother that took her son to the church, and eventually after 6 weeks he stopped kicking and screaming and he started enjoying it. And now he would kick and scream if he couldn't go. So persevere, hang on in there. God is going to see you through. You're going to have a breakthrough. You would have given in and he would expect you to rescue him every time this woman stuck it out. And eventually he grew to love it to the point he would be upset if he couldn't go. She faced the problem, you see. We can't fall into the trap of rescuing people. Otherwise we will fall into a trap and they won't develop the coping skills. They won't be able to solve the problems. So we can't, in English we say mollycoddle people. We can't make too much of a fuss. Obviously we need to be kind and loving as Christians and good mums, good friends, but not to the point where you're doing everything for someone. Otherwise they'll never learn and they'll never do things for themselves. Sometimes they say we've got to be cruel to be kind. So I'm not saying be cruel, but maybe be a little bit strict sometimes. Loving a child is making him face things to a certain degree to make him cope with the things as he grows up. Those who face their problems will save themselves a lot of misery down the road. If you'd like to turn to Matthew 6:34, Matthew 6:34, in the NIV version it says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." And this verse really encourages us to live in the present and trust God for each day rather than being consumed with worry about the future. It reminds us that while challenges are inevitable, God gives us the grace for today's problems. And worrying about tomorrow only adds unnecessary burden. So we're moving on to number 3. This is the lie that says, I can't be happy unless things go my way. So just take a couple of minutes to write down a short list of your ideal day. What are the things that you would love to do if it wasn't for money or having kids or whatever? What are the things you love to do in a day? I, for example, love worshipping. I love to have no time restriction. When I pick up my guitar and sing to the Lord, I could sing for 2 hours, 3 hours, but I've always got things to do. So if I had a day where I had complete choice of what I would do, that is the thing that I would go to. And then I would eat healthy food, I would pray, I would drink lots of water, and definitely go for a walk in the nature or by the sea, because I love nature. And or read the Bible or read a book I'm enjoying. And when I've done all my things for my spiritual life, I would maybe go and meet a friend for lunch and enjoy some social time. So what things would you do? What is your dreams? Would you go climb a mountain? Would you write poetry? Would you just stay in bed all day? What is it that you would love to do if you had a whole day to yourself? Just write down a few things. You can either pause this video, or if you're ready, you can carry on with the session. So are the types of things that you're doing in your day where you have free time, are they the kinds of things that where you want everything to go your way, right? We have an aim of what we want to do in a day. But what happens if things don't go your way? What happens if your organic bag splits open as you're just going out the door to take the rubbish down and you have to catch a bus? What are you going to do? And it explodes everywhere. You got to clean it up, right? And it's very disappointing. And then you miss your bus. And then you catch the next bus, and then that bus has an accident. Or you get in your car and you get a split tire, or all kinds of things can come our way. Or maybe you go to a shop and the shopkeeper starts an argument with you over something. There's always something going to smack us in the face. The devil loves to throw arrows at us and trip us up. So can you be happy if your car breaks down? Someone talks loud on the bus. Someone annoys you on the road. Service is slow in the restaurant. Your friend is always 10 minutes late. Your cleaner ruined your favorite clothes, washing all the colors together. You know, we have to face a lot of things every day. Sometimes we have one of those days, and I know I've had some of those in my life. How about you? It happened to me this week, actually. I woke up with a terrible migraine. I forced myself to go to work. I went to the seaside on the way back to just have an hour for myself, to calm down and enjoy a bit of seaside view, read my Bible, and then I broke down. I waited 90 minutes for the rescue guy to come and get me, and then we got stuck in traffic because there was an accident. I missed my singing session at an elderly care home, which I was so looking forward to, and it was one of those days. But something came out of that, something really great came out of that. I had been wanting to get a contract phone for a very long time, to get a contract so that I could have unlimited data. In this day and age, if you break down and you're on your own, it's a really good idea to be safe as a woman, to have credit on your phone so you can make a call or have data, especially as I run a business. Some people want immediate answers if they want to book a treatment or a coaching session. And if you don't answer them, they're going to go find somewhere else. People want everything yesterday or now, you know. So I decided to finally go and get a contract that day. So praise God, moving forward,